Alright, hopefully now, kia ora from beautiful Aotearoa, New Zealand, which is to say hello from beautiful New Zealand. I am a career break guy, taking a break in the evening from corporate life, and also taking a break from technology that works, apparently. It's been a while since I've been on, and in that time my computer hates me. Uh, so I obviously have done some solo roleplay. That's what my last kind of series was on. And sometimes, you just want to play a game. Last week, my regular weekly game got cancelled, and so I was like, oh, well, I've got nothing to play. Maybe I should start a game. And I thought, oh, that might take a lot of work. And I suddenly thought, hey, you know what? How much work does it actually take? So I decided to try it. What I'm going to do is I've picked a game system. I've got the One Ring by Free League. It's based on J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, that kind of malarkey. Rings of Power, if you really want to go that way. Season 2's coming up. Anyway, so it's a system I haven't really played before. I've run one game for some friends. But otherwise, I've just looked at the book a bunch, because the book is just a really delightful book. If you ever get a chance to pick it up, it's not all glossy, it's just a lovely matte finish. And what I want to do is I want to, start to finish, make a character and run an adventure. Just see if it can be done. This might go terribly, but it is, at the very least, good practice for me as a lore master, which is their term for a GM. Because, you just kind of have to make it up as you go along, and we'll see what happens. So just quickly about the One Ring. So this is, as I say, a Free League game. I love Free League, my favourite publishing company. They have a bunch of great games like Dragonbane, Symbaroum, Ruins of Simmeroon if you want the 5e version. Just looking at my shelf because I've got a bunch of them and a bunch more over here. Vaesen, Twilight 2000, Walking Dead. Walking Dead's surprisingly good. Hopefully, if this works, I might run a few more just to try what it's like to pick up and play some other games. Anyway, so this, as I say, Free League game. A lot of the games are under a year zero engine, where you roll a bunch of d6 and you're looking for sixes. This is not one of them. This is a unique one where you roll a d12 for your main attribute, and then d6s depending on what skills you have, and you're trying to roll over a set attribute number. Actually, really simple system. A lot of interesting features, looking at magic items and character creation, and I mean, again, the art. Free League's art is just gorgeous. So anyway, as I say, I'm going to make a character, which is always fun, so you get to see how a character's made. And then I'm going to just try and run a game. Just a short one, maybe. I'm just going to create actor. This is going to be a player character. And what I'm going to do is I have some source books here. First of all, I am going to pick a race, and I've kind of had a little bit of think about this, prepared this part, and what I've decided is I'm going to make a High Elf of Rivendell, so a Rivendell elf. They're not available in the core set, they are available in the little Rivendell booklet that comes with the GM screen, or Loremaster screen. Rivendell is where Elrond lives, if you watch the movies, if that's your only reference point. So what we do is, I'm going to choose a culture, and as I say, my culture is, imagine being able to type High Elves of Rivendell. So we'll go through some of these things. I won't do the age quite yet. His calling, so this is their classes if you think about some of the other common games. So you've got scholars, messengers, champions, wardens, treasure hunters, captains. What I would like to play is a warden, so they kind of fall into that, the wandering people that look after Middle-earth. This is all set in Eriador, so the northwest Middle-earth, around the Shire, Bree, out to the Misty Mountains, and then out the other direction out to the Grey Havens, north. So he's a warden. So what I wanted is an elf character who travels around, not really fixed to a location and just kind of looks to help the people when and where they find an opportunity. So there's little bits and pieces. Everyone has a cultural blessing, depending on their race, and this one for the High Elves of Rivendell is called Elven Wise. Now what that will allow him to do, oh, it's already him, there you go, allow him to do is I get to add 1 to one of my stats, which you'll see in a moment. And also, if he's not miserable, which is a condition that you can have if you run out of a commodity called hope, I can spend 1 point of hope to achieve a magical success, which means you automatically succeed, and you can do a special effect effectively. Think of really anything that Legolas did, which was just overly showy. He also has another thing called Beset by Woe, which means he can only get rid of shadow, which is the kind of corruption if you do bad things. Like if you murder someone, you kind of are turning towards Mordor and Sauron's path. So no, he can only get rid of that at the end phase. You've got adventuring phases and you have fellowship phases, which are like downtime. And after a few fellowship phases, you have a Yule Fellowship, which is the big end of year Christmas get together. And so it's not going to come into effect right now. Every culture has a standard of living, which kind of reflects how much money they have. Elves of Rivendell are prosperous. And that just means that when you're doing your character creation and various bits and pieces, because they don't really keep a hard track of money, it just gives you a rough idea that, oh, this person probably would have access to a horse or a better armor or something like that if that's something that you're into. So now, what they do is they have a table, and actually, I wonder if I can just show you one of the other ones. Books, core rules. Oh wait, if I do People of the Wilderlands, you can see this because it's going to be easier to get. It's one of the other books. So this is what it looks like, and there's surely a way that I can make this larger. Want to make zoom? No, of course. So again, that beautiful art on the inside. And it just talks about there's a cultural blessing for these people with Bjornings. I don't actually have the PDF of the High Elves, otherwise I would show this one. Standard of living. So it's got these things where there's strength, heart, and wit. So obviously your physical attributes, your emotional attributes, and then your thought, your brain really, awareness. And you roll a d6, and it tells you which set of stats you have. So first roll of the game, let's roll a d6. It's a different table for the High Elves, but just so you know what it looks like. I got a 2, so over here, a 2 on the High Elves is 4 for strength, 3 for heart, and 7 for wits, which really is more of an academic type character, and I was really hoping to get a martial character, so I'll have to just deal with that. Now you might have seen that this was 18, it automatically just went down. 18, put in a 4. That's the target number, so when you roll your d12, plus however many of these little pips you have for your skill, you're trying to roll over that number, or equal to or over that number, so really I'm always trying to aim for a 15 for these skills, always trying for 11 on these skills, always trying for a 14 on these skills. So it's pretty easy in that regards. You don't have to worry about, is this difficult or hard or simple? You can do other modifiers, but basically it's already pre-built there for you. Anyway, so there's a couple of derived stats. One is endurance, which is strength plus 22, so their max endurance is 26. But up to 26, that's hit points, but also things like stamina. How tired are you? Your hope is your heart plus 6, so this is 9 hope. This is that thing that you can spend, and if you have 0 hope, then you're miserable, and all of a sudden your rolls get a lot harder. And the other one is your parry, which is your wits plus 12. So mine is actually 19. This is the target number that enemies have to roll to try and actually hit you. So that's useful in that respect. He's hard to hit. Isn't necessarily good at hitting. I'm I was kind of hoping for more heart that I could do some healing, but is what it is. Right, so then everyone has skills. Let's see if I can show you how that works. You can see how they've got their skills. You've got a little number here, and then you've got a couple which are red, and you can choose one of these, which is your favorite roll. And when you roll your favorite roll, you roll 2d12, which is neat. So I'm just going to plug in the ones here. So let's see, it's Awe of 2. 2 Awe. Elves have 2 athletics, 2 awareness, 2 song, 2 craft, 1 on travel, 2 for healing, well that's useful, courtesy, and 2 for battle, and then they've got 3 for lore. And I can choose either healing or awareness as his special thing, and I think I'm going to choose awareness. So I'll be able to roll 2d12 and pick the highest when I need to do an awareness, plus 2 d6s. So then you have combat proficiencies. We'll show you how that works. So this is axes or spears for these people. We get 2 points, and then you get to choose one, which gets a 1. Actually, I might as well just show you this whilst it's here. You've got distinctive features, which are kind of descriptors of your character, but it means that you can roll an extra d6 if you can justify why that distinctive feature is coming into play in a roll. Then you've got some names, so that'll be useful. So for elves, I get a choice of spears or swords. Swords are cool, so let's do a couple of points there. And then your brawling is 1 less than your highest score. And I get combat proficiency somewhere else. Let's give him a bow because elf. 2 distinctive features, so I can choose from fair, keen-eyed, lordly, inquisitive, merry, proud, subtle, or willful. I think I'll say that he is keen-eyed and inquisitive. If I just figure out where this goes. Oh, actually, there's these have been built into this thing as well. Distinctive features, commons, keen-eyed and inquisitive. So it just says the keenness of our eyesight surpasses that of most folk, and also the curious nature is easily aroused, often by what is not my concern. But I'm also not deceived by appearances, which is nice. Because I'm doing solo, I also get an additional one called Strider, which just means that if I'm on my own and I'm doing a skill roll that's not combat, I can actually roll 2d12 to take the better one. Oh, I should really fix my spelling. Alright, so languages, speak Sindarin, which is the language of the elves. And I'm going to say that he speaks a bit of common as well. And a high elven name. They've got a few suggestions, and here's one. I'm just going to grab Maeglin. Apologies for anyone that actually speaks Tolkien elf, and I butchered that. Yeah, let's say he is a modest 79. He's just a young'un. So fellowship focus is not a thing that applies here because he's solo, but normally that's where you can get a buddy, and you can help them and you get bonuses, but also if they get wounded, then all of a sudden you get negative paths. Now, shadow path is what happens where wardens can... What was it over here? No. Wardens. Range of the North? No. Anyway, sorry, as I was saying, shadow path is as you fall prey to the shadow, so you're doing things that aren't good. It's the suggestion of where your character goes. So the shadow path for not Wardens of the North, because I'm not a Warden of the North, I'm just a Warden, is something about just getting lost. Warden Path of Despair, sorry. So, Path of Despair. So what that means is self-doubt is often the way that the shadow chooses to reach the heart of those who oppose it. Every day they ask themselves, will my strength be enough to prevail, or will I drag down the innocents in defeat? So that's kind of where his mind goes as he falls prey to the shadow, if he falls prey to it. Now, when you get your class, so Warden, or Calling, sorry, you get to choose 2 skills and you can make them favored. So I got the option of Awareness, Healing, and Insight. So I got the Healing anyway, which was my other option for being an elf, and then also Insight. Because I already have Awareness, so I can't take that twice. And then I also get Shadow Law. Of Calling, Shadow Law. Yeah, so I see patterns really in the evil. So that's his stats, Meglin, and no title. Pretty basic. The Valor and Wisdom will go up as he adventures. If he adventures, he might just die straight away. Easy enough. Fellowship, no fellowship points because, well, there is no fellowship. I've just dropped my book. He returns unscathed. Now you do get, instead of those fellowship points, you get 3 plus any additional bonuses from virtues. So I can just use those to replenish hope. But it's not my fellowship with the other people in my party, which it's meant to be. This is my fellowship with how the affinity I feel for the people I'm trying to protect, which is kind of cool. So now with your items, what's kind of neat is they don't force you down a particular path. They just say, well, what does your character have? So you can take weapons that you have skills in. So I can take swords and bows. I can also take a piece of armor, and then the armor that you can get, or the items you can get, depends on your wealth again. So, sorry, your standard of living. So it's prosperous. If you wanted heavy armor, I could probably pick that up. I don't though. That'll be a bit much. So what I'll do is we'll take a longsword, and you can see his load went up. That means his encumbrance really. And he's going to take a 200 longsword as well, which did not drop in, but I am going to take the load off this because what it actually is just you can use weapons 1 or 2-handed. He's going to take a bow because that's what's useful, and he's going to wear a leather shirt for a bit of armor. Not a lot of armor. And you see his load's already up to 8. And if his load gets over his endurance, then that's not so good. He's over encumbered. Now he does also have some other options for items, which I'll just grab the book. I know it. Let's grab this book so that everyone can see it. Core rules. Characteristics. War gear. Oh. Page fit. Gonna be some way of making that larger for people. There we go. Something like this. 100. Alright, so he's prosperous, so starting treasure rating of 90. That's kind of like, again, he just is able to pick up some items if he needs them. He's got his... I'm missing half the sheet there. Can I make this bigger? Surely. So yep, I grabbed weapon, grabbed armor. He's not going to grab a shield. It's not how he rolls. Now with the rewards, you can choose 1 reward to start. So I get to pick one of these cool things. And I think what he'll do is he will take a a keen sword, maybe. Which means it's more likely to do damage. Can I put that here? Effects. Choose skills, no. Equipment. What if I just search it keen? There you go. Not sure that actually went on. We'll just change this to say keen. So what it means is instead of, if you roll a 10 you can do special damage, but now with this weapon he can roll a 9 or a 10. So I just need to remember that. And that's pretty much that character. Do I tokenize on? Tokenize it. Sorry, just resetting that. Meglin is going to quickly nope, okay, so I don't know where that picture went. Useful. We will just, oh wait, I know where I can find one. If we go here, wait, no, not there. It is this resources. Oh, modify it. So you can actually start playing a lot quicker than this, obviously. Icons, tokens. Elf, maybe it's that one. Nope. Elf 2. Yep, there you go. That'll do. And then we'll use the same one over here. Sweet, so it's Meglin. Now we have an adventure. Oh, sorry, an adventurer. So here is a map of Middle-earth. This is at the back of the rulebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring us over to Rivendell, which is where we find Meglin. Now this game also has a series of a system called the Patron, and so the Patron is someone who will give you quests and you can go back to for advice and assistance and things like that. So what I think is we're going to do is we're going to start and we're going to open the scene in Rivendell, not inside the High House of Elrond, but just off to one side. There's a slight hill area with some smoother rocks, which also have a beautiful view of the morning sun coming up over the ranges and over this Loudwater River, or the fords of Bruinen. Apologies on the pronunciation. Oh hooray, I've got a bot. And so what we do is we actually find Meglin sitting there on this rock, and quite peculiarly, he's sitting there with his pipe. He quite enjoys having a bit of pipe. Has travelled west out to Bree and even into the Shire previously, just to experience the various pipe weeds that they have. He's heard the rumour. A lot of elves like to stay in Rivendell, but he's had more of a wanderlust. So when we're opening the scene, he's sitting there quietly smoking his pipe, and he's approached by a woman, a human woman though, and she is, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, one of the patrons. If I find where the patrons are, no, so her name is Gilraen the Fair. So she's one of the Rangers of the North. So you might be a bit surprised that they're there, but they actually are located in this area as a kind of headquarters. Their wardens do training in Rivendell, and so she resides there currently. And she comes up to Maeglin, catches his attention, and he greets her, pops his pipe away. Apologies. I think what it is, she's going to speak to him and. Oh, in the book they actually Strider mode. You know what? Let's bring that up. You can tell I haven't planned this because it's all just going all over the show. So Strider mode, they do talk about having different people having different quests. So they say you can roll or do it in order. So Gurayan has come up to him and says and explains that there's a ranger that's gone missing. And normally if this was a game that I was playing with other people, I would have, found out someone who is a friend of one of the characters, to try and get that tie-in with them. And so what I'm going to say is that actually this ranger is someone known to Maeglin. All these people with similar names. Let's just find a name for this ranger who is missing. So this is let's go with Arvegil. Arvegil. Let's write that in here. Arvegil. Arvegil. The warden, the ranger of the north has gone missing. Northish. So Maeglin's obviously concerned about that. This is someone that he knows and wants to make sure that they're okay. The situation itself is that this ranger was meant to be returning to Rivendell, and was expected back already, but it's been a couple of days and they haven't seen them. And let's say that they were last seen. Let's say they were last seen on the last bridge. Someone was crossing out the other way. So it's been a couple of days. They were last seen, I guess, in this area, because I'm just going to make it easier because I'm running a game on my own on the fly. And so Gurad's gone up to Maeglin and said, "Hey, look, can you go looking for him?" And Maeglin, of course, one, likes to get out and about, and two, if his friend's in danger, and knowing that the troll shores where trolls are located is just right there, is absolutely concerned. So what we're going to do is he's going to take his leave of the lady, and we're going to start heading out. He's going to collect up his gear, collect up his sword and his bow, don his armor, and he's going to head west towards Troll Shore. So what you do is you roll a travel roll, which is not very high for him, but I do get to roll it as favored because Strider mode. And what happens is, depending on whether you pass or fail, an event happens either close or far away. I'm just going to travel through these hexes. So let's first of all roll travel, see what happens. He's not weary, he's not miserable. This is a favored roll, so we'll take the best one. And we're hoping for a 15 or more. Ooh, that's awkward. So, if you saw those dice, wherever they went. So a 10 is good. A 6 is great because what happens is it's a success, but it also has an additional benefit that you can carry on. So for instance, if you're using a weapon, you can do more damage and things like that. So I'll get to that in a moment. But this little fella, this eye thing, the Eye of Sauron, if that was the dice roll that I'd rolled, normally that would count as 0. Unless he was miserable, in which case it would count as some kind of catastrophe. So thankfully, I got to roll 2 dice. I got to pick the highest. I got 16, just snuck by. And I've also got that 6, which means I can get a benefit from it. And I think I'm going to... I believe there's one where I get to carry across some momentum or success. Ooh. Or I'm going to gain some insight is one option that I can have. In fact, that's in the book, so I can actually just show you that. How it works. Strider mode? Yes. There we go. So, as I say, because I've got the 6, I can spend it, a special success. It's going to gain additional information, not necessarily related to the task at hand. Oh. In that case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to build advantage, so I can use my success to improve my position or confidence and gain 1 dice on my next skill roll. So in the meantime, he's going to take off. He goes 1, 2. Normally you have to go a certain length. It's about 2 squares before the event happens. However, if you're on the road, you actually get to move twice that speed. So he gets to really hoof it. I'm just going to double check though, the winter roll. As I say, I haven't really played this. So if you pass the travel roll, you get to move 3 hexes, plus 1 for additional for each. It's called Tengwa, the little 6. So I'm going to say that he actually gets to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He skirts around the edge of the Troll Shores before this event happens. But now, what is the event? If I open this up, fortune table. I'm not going to do that because it's not there. Events. Venturing phase. Solo journey events. Right, so I'm going to roll a D12. This is in a outer area. Oops. So I'm going to roll 1 feat dice, so a D12, and see what happens. These are a lot of bad things that might happen. Right, roll. 5. So there's a mishap. It seems unfortunate. Unless if he fails a roll, you will need to add 1 day to length the journey, so we'll go back 1 square and you'll gain 1 point of fatigue. So what roll am I actually rolling to get this? Roll for journey, events key directing the roll. To resolve journey events for lone players, skip the event's target step. Was the target of the event, obviously. And the challenged ability is determined by the event's nature. So, what thing should I be rolling? Oh wait, here we go. There was a mishap. Yep, 47 is a mishap, so we'll roll 1d6 to find out what that mishap is. A 6, a wandering enemy. So what I need to do is I need to roll awareness to even notice them. Oh, thankfully this is my favorite one. I need to get 14. Oh, and I get +1 bonus dice from that where I got my special success before. We got 15. Excellent. Plus 1 of those was a 6, so I get to carry another skill forward, another dice forward. So what I reckon is there is some kind of foe in this area, but he spotted them. And because we're right next to the troll shores, I think it makes sense that it's a troll. So I'm just going to bring up a troll in the book. You know what? I'm going to bring up a troll in this book so you can see it too. Core rules. The world. Appendix. Here we go, trolls. So what it is, let's say it's a stone troll. Those are in the area. This is where the Hobbit, in the Hobbit, they get ambushed by those 3 stone trolls. So I'll go easy. Let's say I'm going to roll a dice and I'm going to say, is this a... Is there only one? I could have used that one. Right, so telling table. Is it just the one? Doubtful. Okay. So what I think it is, because it's doubtful instead of something more extreme, it's going to be just the one, but also they've got something with them. So maybe there is a wolf with them. It knows where this person is kind of taken on like a pet. So Maeglin is walking along the path and he spots movement up ahead. And it's getting a bit darker already. So he pulls off into the shadows and he sees ahead kind of this large shadow dislodge itself. And then another one kind of sniffing around. So he's very glad that he's pulled to one side and the wind is going in the right direction, like towards him, so that his scent is being carried that way. And lo and behold, is a stone troll wearing its simple clothes, sack over its shoulder, and this wolf kind of pattering around its feet, sniffing and growling. And I think this stone troll, carrying on its way, it's going to be heading back into the troll shores, I'd say. Now there is a thing that we can roll here. And it is not the telling table, there's a different one. Computer freezing. There we go. The lore table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this and I'm going to try and get a couple of ideas for what's going on here. So roll that and we'll roll a focus maybe. Roll an action, we'll see what we like. So we've got the answers of Desolate, Court, and Prevent. Okay, so I think it stands to reason. I mean, Desolate, this troll is definitely heading back into the troll shores. And they're carrying something inside of their sack. Now, Maeglin's not sure whether this has anything to do with the disappearance of Avgul, but he is curious, and he can kind of hear the troll muttering to himself, "Got some supper ready, and I'll bring it back, and cook it up, crunch its bones." So he's actually going to follow along behind this troll and follow it to their home. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 hope to get a magical success. Because quite frankly, I mean, I'd have to roll more than 11, but it's just on a d12. And to do that, you either have to roll, you'd have to roll a Gandalf rune, which is the number 12. 1 to 10 is numbers, 11 is something terrible happens, and then 12 is something excellent happens. Oops. So, yeah, as I say, I'm going to spend a hope and then use his special ability, the Elven Wise, to buy a magical success, which means he automatically succeeds and does it with some kind of flair. And the flair I'm choosing is that, I mean, he follows and he manages to keep downwind of the wolf and the troll on the way in. Right, so he follows them through, and eventually they get through to a kind of well, actually, I remember looking through the book, and there was a cool description about some troll nests. Troll nests? Was it in Landmarks? Venturing in Middle Earth? Yeah, some cool little descriptions around where trolls might live. And so I'm kind of interested to see if I can roll up one of those, just to get a bit of a description from the game. Nope, there. Tools for the Lawmaster? Nope. Where was Eridor? That must have been it. And then we're going to look at the Troll Shores. Cool, so we're going to head down, and we find some... He gets to a troll hole, which, let's find out a bit more about it. It's even behind some falls. Oh, this is cool. So anyway, he's Maeglin is following this troll and this wolf. Again, magical success, thankfully. Bruh. Sorry, Moji, I don't really have that screen up to see the messages all the time. Hello! How are you? You guys aren't going to run a game? I'll run a game. Right, so... Yes, Maeglin is going to... That doesn't work. He's following this troll and its wolf. And he follows them through some valleys, through the trees, and until they get to this waterfall, little stream and lake. And I wonder if you can actually see it on this map. No. But it's in there. Small little one. Maeglin's kind of wondering what's going on here. But then he sees the troll start to wander into the water. He's like, oh, better not get this too wet. Hoists his bag up. And the wolf is kind of just like trying to sidle around the edge of the water as much as possible. He's like, oh, come here. Reaches over, picks up the wolf quite bodily, and it snaps at him. He's like, worry. He keeps carrying it. Heads towards this waterfall itself. And much to Maeglin's surprise, he kind of goes, alright, here we go, 1, 2, 3. Ducks under the water. And then doesn't reappear. And Maeglin waits. Listens. Doesn't hear anything. So I think he's going to sneak forwards a bit to no, wolf, no, the wolf is potentially fine. I know they both disappeared into this waterfall. He's going to try and go around the outside of this pool to get as close to this waterfall as possible. And I think I'm going to get him to roll an awareness to see if he can see this gap behind it. Okay, so a few things here. One, yay that he got to roll that with a boon, a favoured roll, because otherwise that would have been terrible again. But I do have one success I can carry forwards if I had succeeded, which he didn't, so... Okay, he's sitting around the outside of here and he can't figure out... He gets a sense that there must be something back there. Trolls don't just disappear, and even though he's only watched them for a little while, he assumes that the troll isn't just going to drown the wolf. And also he seemed to want to keep that bag fairly dry. So I think he is just going to have to try and swim over. But I wonder if with the fact that he failed his awareness. No, I think what I'll do is I'm going to spend another point of hope. And I'm going to get him to do another magical success worth of stealth. So he just like moves into the pool like pouring a really high quality Japanese teapot where it doesn't even break the surface of the water. And he goes quietly forward and gets to the edge of the waterfall where the troll had disappeared, and he's like, well, you know, it's got to work or it's not, and I can always go back if need be. But hopefully there's something moving forwards. And he's just going to duck his head under and push forward under the stream, and then the water pelts down, and there's the roaring in his ears of this water. He swims forward, scrabbling on rocks, and then breaks the surface, and lo and behold, finds himself in a cave. Which do we get more of a description there? Difficult coming outside, easily overlooked layer. And now that he's here, it's like, I can't believe I didn't notice this before. The roaring of the water has cut off the noise from outside, so it's even hard to hear anything inside the cave. The bat cave, yes. Roll for bats. Actually, I might as well roll for bats. 8. What is 8 on the telling table? 8 is doubtful. Okay. Sorry, Moj, but the dice says no bats. Yes, well, I mean, he is the fancy teapot. Have Alfred bring fresh tea in my fancy Japanese teapot. Yes. Maeglin. Maeglin is the fancy teapot. So looking around, he obviously doesn't hear the wolf, doesn't hear the troll at the moment. And he doesn't see them. It's very dark. I wonder whether I think it would be reasonable that there is a fire further back in the cave. So I think maybe there's just that little flicker of light towards the further inside the cave. So he's going to follow that. Again, he's got this magical stealth, thank God, because otherwise I would never make it, especially with the fact I've rolled 2 Eyes of Sauron so far. So he's going to make his way back into this cave. And lo and behold, he rounds a corner and just peering around. The fire is there and flickering, and flames are roaring, and there's like a little hole going up to the ceiling, so the smoke is actually venting out. Quite a useful location when you think about it. The sound of the waterfall is still strong, but not as heavy here. You can hear the crackle of the fire. And lo and behold, there is the troll and the wolf. And I'm just going to roll... Let's roll some of these to see what they say. See if it gives me any inspiration for what is going to go on here. Oh wait, my head's in the way, isn't it? Maybe if I put it over here, then my head is less in the way. So we've got restore, small, and might. Okay, so the fire, the troll is cooking over there. They got in, they already had the fire going, and they're busy preparing a meal. Some kind of game, let's say maybe a deer, like in the picture, and they're skinning that and preparing it to cook. Now we can see that bag is still there, and I just wonder, you know what, let's say telling table is, can I actually put this over here? Telling table is my dear friend Argil. I promise I'll remember his name one day. Is he in here already? Can I see him? Certain. Oh, well, this is convenient. Okay, so... Oh, actually, So is he in a cage? Because if not, middling. Okay, so what it is he's been shackled. So looking in, and of course, his attention is automatically drawn to the troll and the wolf because he knows they're in here, and he's scanning around. There's the fire and the beast that he's preparing for the meal. And now that he's assessing immediate threat, he's looking around, and there's various discarded items, bags, boxes, unfortunately bones and clothing inside this cave as well. This troll must have lived here and it's just been raiding out of here. But one thing, the talent table is a neat mechanic. Let's just look at it real quick, because it's easy to do this kind of thing when I'm just trying to make it up in my mind as I go along. So yeah, so you roll your dice, certain, likely, middling, doubtful, unthinkable, always no with super bad, or always yes with super good, potentially, or a twist. So I think it's actually probably something I'll take with me into other games as well, something similar. In other games I use just that D6 where 6 is extreme yes, 1 is extreme no, 2 and 3 is no, 4 and 5 is yes. But this is actually a little more nuanced. Anyway, so he's looking through this cave, taking in the wolf and the troll, but now, and also these discarded, but then he notices that amongst the piles of bones and cloth, there's actually also a shape of which is moving, and he recognizes, despite the blood-soaked stains on it and the various levels of filth, he recognizes it as Avgul's. And lo and behold, he can see him, and his hands have been chained, and they're chained to a large, chained to a large rock. It's convenient enough. A large apparatus, heavy enough that he can't get away. And so for a moment, what we have is this troll, wolf, and then his friend. Now I wonder, restore small might. I wonder, does the troll, has the troll got intentions to deal with Avgul shortly? Always yes with extreme result or twist. Okay, so as he's prepping this deer, the troll's like, "Oh, this will go well with a little bit of ranger. I think, yes, this will whet my appetite, or even I could just feed you to Wolfie here." Yes, his name is Wolfie now. An extreme result or twist. So what could be the extreme result? Yes, in fact, maybe I should just let him eat you now. Rangy Ranger. Now, Rangy's my friend, Avgul. I've decided to Wolfie McWolf is the wolf that is with this troll. Unless Rangy Ranger is the name of the troll, ironically. So, you know what? Avgul, I think, is just gonna muster up the last of his strength, and being the cocky ranger that he is, he's just gonna spit. Yeah, I'll choke you on the way down if I need to. The troll's like, you silly sod, you got no hope here. You know what, Wolfie? And the wolf growls, and he's like, why don't you get started? Mine's almost done anyway. And so with that, and the wolf starts circling in on Avgul, and I think at this point, good old Maeglin realizes he's going to have to do something. So I'm going to grab a wolf and a troll, stone troll robber, and a wolf, wild wolf. And I think what's going to happen is he's going to draw his bow and he's going to fire it. We're going to get in a fight. Long and short of it. So with combat, you start by choosing a stance. And maybe if I pop this out, it'll be easier. So you choose a stance. You can have a forward stance, which is where you kind of rush in and you all attack. You've got I think it's open stance, where you're just involved in close combat. A defensive stance, where again you're more concerned with defense, and you can also, as a special feature, defend one of your fellow teammates. Or you can do a rearward stance, which is when you are just an archer shooting from a distance. You can only be hit by ranged attacks. But with that, you actually need someone to be involved in the combat. So I've noticed that these guys have cool little tokens to set your combat stance. I don't know where I get to actually change that. Anyway, so the thing is, there's another stance for Strider mode, and it's called Skirmish Stance. And let's just bring that up so everyone can see, especially me, because I'm about to use it. Skirmish. Jenny's fighting. Fight. Where is it? Skirmish mode. Skirmish stance. So you fight on the move, and you can't see this because it's too small. Right, so you fight on the move, kind of backpedaling and trying to be more nimble. You can only attack your adversaries using ranged weapons. Anyone that attacks with a melee weapon loses 1 die, and those who attack with a ranged weapon suffer no penalty. But I lose 1 die in my attack. So what it is when you announce combat, you've got what's known as an opening volley. And that's anyone with a ranged weapon can do that attack. And so he's got surprise on his side here. I really wish I knew how to change that. I mean, that is to skirmish stance, I believe. No? Any of these? No. Disregard. So yeah, he's going to do an opening volley. He's going to fire at the wolf to start with. So he is going to, I think I need to do this targety thing, target the wolf. He's going to fire his bow. And there might be some kind of thing because he's got a surprise, but I don't really know it, so I'm just going to roll it and hope for a 14. So, as I was saying, if you get an I, which I've gotten on every single roll almost, it counts as 0. So I got a 5, which is not enough. So he fires this arrow, and everyone is now very much aware that there is another person here, and the troll's like, "Oi, what's that?" And the wolf just wheels around, and everyone is going to engage in combat. So, what happens is, once you're actually engaged in combat, so now we're going to begin combat, heroes go first, and then foes go. Because I'm in skirmish stance, I have to fight with a bow. So he's going to, I think, yeah, he's going to go for the wolf again, in the hopes of eliminating that a little bit quicker. Let's go bow. Whoops, don't have any valid weapon equipped for this type of skill. I mean, other than the bow that I have. So I'll bow 1 penalty dice. Oh, that's going to be awkward. Because I'm in skirmish stance. If I roll a Gandalf, it's good, but it is not. So he misses again. The wolf is going to fear of fire. Oh, that's awkward. So it actually loses 1 point of hated. It doesn't like being hit by this fire, so it obviously is going to want to be away from that. What it can do is it can use its Great Leap, which allows it to attack anyone at any range, but it spends 1 hate to do that, so it's going to have 2 hate left. But I'm going to say that means it won't need to deduct 1 dice. I'm giving it a benefit there. Does that roll? Game. So the wolf is going to target him. Is that how this works? Oh, there we go. So it has to roll against his parry. And it fails. So the wolf leaps at him, but any range? Yeah, it's a heck of a jump. It can leap over front row fighters, so you can line up all your shield people and then it just like yeet over the top. But anyway, so he sees it leap. He was prepared, and he just ducks to one side as it goes screaming past. That doesn't change the fact that now it's the Stone Troll's chance to attack. And I didn't actually look at any of these stats before, so gonna have to look at what these things are very quickly. Hatred, no. Horrible Strength. Oh wait, I've got the book up, don't I? So I can just have the trolls here. Because, you know, it's not cluttered enough. Trolls. Appendix. Oh, trolls. That's what I was looking for. This was a Stone Troll Robber. Oh, wow. That's a lot of health, isn't it? That's a lot of health. Okay, so they've got a Hatred of Dwarves, not a problem here. Horrible Strength, if they get a Piercing Blow, which is if they get a 10, they can spend 1 hate to make the protection roll ill-favored, so you roll for your armor. So no, what it's going to do is it just is going to try and crush him because it hasn't picked up its club. Oh, you know what? Let's say it's got a club. It's going to use the poker that it was so full of health. It's going to use the poker that it was preparing food with. So now I think I need to click on that and click on the troll. Troll is targeting him. This is not as intuitive as some of the other ones, but okay. It does get 1 penalty dice though because I'm in my skirmish stance. Ooh, that's lucky. So with the 12 again, oops. Maglin just leaps out of the way. This is an elf who's now, I don't mind that he rolled really well on his wits to have high parry. Yeah, but too nimble for them, and the club comes crashing down, sparks flying, but he leaps out of the way of it. What he's going to do though is he's going to drop his bow and draw his sword for this next round. And he's going to adopt a new stance. This time he's going to be in... Oh, there you go. You right-click it. This time he's going to be in an open stance. Open stance. Okay. Which means he doesn't get any benefits to his attack, but at the same time neither do they. So he is again going to target the wolf? Yeah, he's going to target the wolf. He's going to try and get rid of that wolf. So Maglin is targeting wolf. And he's going to attack it with his sword. This all looks great. Alright, fingers crossed. Cool, so Gandalf rune. Gandalf rune is an automatic success. With stats wide open. That is correct. Gandalf rune. No, it's with the. Oh, just gonna double check with this. As I say, I haven't really run this before. Ran it once, in fact, for Moj in chat. And Gandhi, roll the Gandhi. So when you roll your dice, I know if you roll a 10, you do a piercing attack. But I assume it's also if you roll a Gandhi. An attack roll produces a piercing blow on a 10 or a Gandhi or a 9 on his sword because he's got the special thing. So characters hit by piercing blow must immediately roll a feat dice plus a number of success dice equal to the protection value of their armor worn. Well, okay, he's got heaps of armor. So he rolls. Can I roll that? Apparently not. Oh, okay, I can click that. So roll that, and the target number is. The protection test is made. Roll the feat dice plus number of equal value of the worn. Target number for the roll is injury rating of the weapon used by the attacker. So the injury rating, because you dropped it and pulled it out 2 hands, is 18. So he has to roll an 18 or more with his gajillion dice. Roll. Dice out of the way. Failure! Oh wow, they're so close. Okay, so what happens is he has received a wound on page 101. Oh wait, this is the wolf. Wolf doesn't even have that. I forgot that I was attacking the wolf and not the stone troll. Okay, so the wolf has definitely taken a wound. And the thing is, he only has might 1. So with might 1, that's also equivalent of how many wounds they can take. So what happens is, you know, the wolf leapt, and he dodged out of the way. The stone troll robber swung his giant stick that he was going to use for doing this rotisserie. And he dodged out of the way of that. And in that motion, drops his bow, pulls his sword, and just has to do the weird, he just grabs it and comes up reverse gripped onto that wolf. He spins around to the side. Yes, Wolfie, yes. And just like cuts straight through the face of the wolf and it just falls down. The stone troll's like, Wolfie, no! No, Wolfie, no! And he's quite enraged. But as a player, am happy because I had no idea how my one character was going to suddenly fight a wolf and a stone troll when he's not actually a combat character. So, hey. So the wolf's not going to have a turn because it did. But the stone troll, enraged now, is going to swing. No, it's going to try. Doesn't want to use its club again. Yeah, it's going to try and use its club again on Maeglin. This time it does not have a modifier. So it just gets to roll all of its dice, which is terrifying because it's got 3 plus the d12. But a failure. Again, Maeglin is just too nimble. And leaping to one side, repositioning his back to the wall, he reverses so his sword is in the correct grip. Looks over, sees that Abigail is trying to free himself, but he's absolutely weak. He's been held captive for a couple of days now without food. So kind of places himself between the troll and Abigail. And he is going to swing out with his sword. This is going to take a lot longer to kill than that wolf, though. I can tell. Sword. Roll. You love to see it. Okay, so that's another Gandhi. Got my Gandhi again. So again, we get to, this time actually rolling for the stone troll. And not just for the, the wolf. Whoops. Yep, it's two-handed attack. So roll the 18. Hopefully you don't get it. Because if you don't, then I can wound you as well. That's a good start. Excellent. So it's like, Wolfie, no! And he starts moving towards him, and Abigail launches a slice, and how do wounds work? Question mark. Wounds. So he takes one of his might. Hideous toughness, though. I think that means that if he... Horrible strength... All of them have hideous toughness somewhere. Maybe it's on the previous page. Alright, here's toughness. So unaffected by unarmed attacks, easy. Inflicts damage to the creature that would cause it to go to 0 endurance, causes a piercing blow instead. Okay, well that's not a case. Did he take endurance damage as well? When a melee or range attack succeeds, the target gets immediate loss of endurance. Okay, so he takes endurance loss. This is good. This is why you send my regards to Wolfie in Hell, exactly. Well, see, this is why you run games by yourself instead of with players, is that you can actually learn how this thing works. So he takes endurance loss equal to the damage of my sword, which is 5, so it's 55 now. Then he takes the wound, which takes off one of his mites. So it's a huge slice through his stomach as he's coming through, but let's see if Maeglin is maybe a bit cocky and this stone troll gets an opportunity to hit him. I hope not, because it's actually kind of cool that I'm winning. As I said, didn't expect it. It's going to swing around. Oh dear, okay. Well, that's awkward. So he's got a special success. So what he might do is... I guess he's just going to do a heavy blow. So it does 14 damage. This is not as fun when all of a sudden I get hit. Okay. So I take 14 endurance damage right off the bat. Oh, that's not me. This is me here. Endurance, 14. Oof. He got too cocky. And then I roll a protection roll. Can I just roll it off here, or do I roll it off there? Don't I? I thought protection roll, you got to add armor, so I get 1d6 for my armor. Come on, Gandhi, or something good. 10. 10 is not enough. I get wounded. So it's a little different with playing characters. Making kind of be a little less spry hairs. What happens is you can get wounded once, and if you get wounded a second time, you die. So that's awkward. But what's going to happen is he has to protect his friend. Now that he's found them, so he is going to square up again, and he's going to take a swing at this troll. I wish there was some way I could add more dice. Is there any kind of dice that I can add? What were my skills again? Keen-eyed, no. Shadow Law, Strider, no. Bother it. Okay, I can spend 1 hope. 2 hits. 2 hits is intense. Welcome to Dragonbane. What's that? You can't take more than 1 hit? I'm going to spend 1 hope, and when you spend hope, you get, I believe, another d6. Just gonna have to look that up. Yes, you know all about not having a lot of health. I know it. I've got the book, don't I? So I'm looking for... What was hope? Index hope. Hope. 71. Hope bonus 20, maybe. Score is a pool of points. Make a die roll, can spend 1 hope and gain 1d. Okay. So he's 100% going to do that. So, I can do that. I'm going to spend a hope point. But he's not inspired. Is he inspired? No, he's not inspired. That's a elf thing for other bits and pieces. Right, okay. Fingers crossed. Please work. Okay, so I didn't get any Gandys, I didn't get any of the other bits and pieces, but at the very least, he does hit. So it does another 5 damage to this troll. Not that the troll is really going to notice, because he got so much health. And the only way I can really think that I'll be able to beat him is if I do piercing attacks. Anyway, he's going to... The troll... I wonder, actually, is he going to switch to a crush now? Is he feeling cocky? Doubtful. No, he's too smart. So he's going to swing with his club. Oh, I'm so glad that there was a lot of low numbers there. Oh, that was meant to be the stone troll. So back to combat. So Maeglin is bleeding. He holds his side, and he's actually going to drop to one-handed stance. Just because, you know, it's he's in a lot of pain, quite frankly. But he is going to swing out. This combat is going to go to the death, it looks like. Not worried, not miserable. How much hope have I got? I just spent 1 then. Let's spend another 1. Because I forgot to take it off last time. I got a Gandhi! I got my 12. Great success. And one of the other success. Oh no, yes, great success because he's got the piercing blow on a 9 thanks to his weapon. So, we get to roll on the armor of the troll, the protection roll. This time though, it is only against a modifier or target of 16, so we might be able to do it. Roll. Still takes 5 damage anyway. No, automatic success! So with bad guys, when they roll the Eye of Sauron, instead of being an automatic fail, for them it's an automatic success. But I got a 6, which means I can do something with that. I can do a special damage. So with my special damage, I think what I would like to do is... I can do a heavy blow, which means I do additional loss of endurance equal to my strength rating, which is not much. I can fend off, which means put myself in an advantageous position, spend 1 success to add modify my power rating by +1, also +2 for a sword. Or I can pierce, spend 1 success to change the number on my thing. Well, I already rolled a Gandalf, so I didn't need to increase that. So do I want to fend off and increase my defense, or do I want to do an extra bit of damage? My strength rating is 4. Freaking Trolls Online. Trolls Trolls are dangerous. Hey, Sam Smoky Corner, by the way. Welcome to my give it a whirl pick up and play of the One Ring. Unfortunately, my character Maeglin has managed to find themselves in a spot of bother, in that they followed a troll and its pet wolf into a cave where they found the person they were looking for. However, they got in a fight. The wolf is dead, masterful blow, but now they are near death, and the troll is not near death. And on that, I think he's going to, he's going to do the extra 4 points damage. He's been pretty lucky up until this point with his rolls, so I'm going to hope that holds. I guess this might be potentially the last roll of the game, because the troll is going to target him with its rotisserie spear of sorts. Oof, please miss. Excellent. So, clutching one hand with blood, he manages to fend this off. A sloppy parry. Is this on a website? This is using the Foundry VTT. There's not an official module, but there is a free module, and then if you've got the book, then you can put in all the details. So he manages a sloppy parry, but a sloppy parry is still enough to not get shanked by a troll. And honestly, any day that you're not shanked by a troll, I think it's a day to call it success. Hopefully this has put him in a better position now. He tries to circle around the troll and strike again with his sword. Still one-handed because of this bloody great stab wound that he's received. Oh! Such the luck! Oh yeah, the joy is though this map is straight out of the back of the book. I just turned the final page into a JPEG and set up as a map with the grid references. Anyway, so we got it. We got a piercing blow, which means the old Stone Troll is going to have to roll his armor again. Oh, he's going to have to switch back to 116. He's never going to make that. I'm going to have to switch back to two-handed if I really want to do this damage. But let's roll. Fingers crossed. 10, 18. Okay, so stab. He still takes the 5 damage. 36. It's all these little cuts. He's fended off and then come back through with a swipe. Slashed across the arm of the troll, who yells and fury. Oh, you springy little elf! And to that effect, he is going to keep stabbing. This combat is really going a while, I guess, when you've just got the one person. Thankfully, a failure. So, I'm really pleased with how full of not being hit Maeglin is in general. How much hope has he got left? 4 hope. Okay, so we're going to do it. We're going to spend another hope because we want that extra dice. Swords. I don't think I did actually click on it last time, so I'll click on it this time. So nothing's... Oh wait, a 9. So a 9, don't forget, is a piercing blow because he's got a keen weapon. I am so glad that I bought that at the beginning now. No other special successes, but it does mean that Stone Troll has to roll its armor again against the 16, which it's not having too much trouble doing so far. Still not having any trouble with it. That's so annoying. But it takes that extra 5 damage from the sword. This is Middle-earth, yeah. Rivendell, this is where Maeglin started his adventure. He's an elf out of Rivendell. He's off looking for his friend who's a ranger of the north, who went disappearing near the last bridge. And you know what, let's check it out. Free with the top. The map itself is just freaking sweet. And because you weren't here for it earlier, there's another kind of map, but it doesn't have grids, so not quite as much, but it's got the whole area, Mordor included. And then the freaking sweet art from the game itself. Anyway, we're in the middle of a fight. Oh yes, Foundry. Thanks, Moj. Right, so, the troll. That's where we're up to, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna remove this wolf. Oh, there you go. Combatant doesn't exist. You hit him that hard. So the troll. Slowly dying a death of 1,000 cuts if I can help it. Swings out with his rotisserie. Oh, no! No! He hits him for 6. Guess you're 21. So now at this point, Maeglin is weary. If you're weary, I believe your dice rolls are unfavored. The game is the One Ring, yes. Although, actually, he dropped his bow. So I'm going to edit this, hopefully. I did say he dropped his bow. Is he still weary? He's still weary. And there's nothing else he can drop because all he's got is armor and a sword. Okay. Maeglin is over it. This has been... He's gone one-on-one with a stone troll. It's not the perfect day. Let's try, Maeglin. You've got... Don't want to use all your hope. He's going to switch to two-handed now. He's going to have to try and end this. Is weary. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. Woof. Oh no. No knives, Zoran. Hey, thanks for the follow, Sam. Oh no, no. Okay, so when you are weary, such as Maeglin is now, yeah, is that when the Eye of Sauron means 0 or an actual problem occurs? I'm going to have to look up weary really quickly. This whole thing is me just learning the game at the same time. So, core rules, and we're going to look up index weary. Weary. 22 and 69. Oh, you can just click on it, that's so good! Okay. Weary. Heroes become weary of the current endurance. Okay, when this happened, weary is checked. Doesn't actually tell you what weary does. Less useful. Weary 22. Okay, here we go. So when a weary hero is making a roll, all the success dice that come up showing a result, 1, 2, or 3, give 0. Okay, that's not the end of the world, but it's not the best thing that could have happened. It's not like winning a lotto. So he misses, but it's not super bad missing. What might be super bad is what this troll does to him when it tries to club him and it is not weary. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, and it is just going to smash the ever-loving snot out of dear sweet little oh man, out of wait, that's a no, you spend the thing. No, he only gets it on... When does he roll the armor protection roll? That's a piercing blow. But that's a special damage. That wasn't a piercing blow, that was a special damage. Okay, so I did create my own character. The whole point is I felt like playing, and I wondered, like, how hard is it just to open the book, make a character, and run a one-shot. As it turns out, making character, easy. Running a one-shot, little dodgy, and then surviving the one-shot doesn't actually happen. So what's happened is, Magellan went through and he suddenly was so tired from that hit when the stone troll hit him with the club. He grips his sword and he thought, this is it. This is the last opportunity. I'm gonna have to finish it here and now. And he sweeps in for the strike. And as he's coming through, the blows, the sword's coming down over the top. It would be well placed if not for the troll just grabs his hand with one meaty paw and then just runs him through the stomach with this cooking spike. Magellan is out of health, so in this game, you're not dead, but also in this game, the rules don't. You're not dead, but the situation isn't normally that you're fighting a troll who's hungry, and you've just killed their pet. So I think what's happened here is so you're complaining when I killed the wolf, but now a little more drastic. So the troll has just got him, and it just like pushes him back into the pile of bones. So I told you I'd get you, you little runt, and just like slides him off the spike. And he goes, and his eyes are fading in and out of consciousness. And he just kind of uses the last of his strength to pull himself over to Avgil. Oh man, I've already forgotten his name. There was so much combat in the middle of that. Avgil. He pulls himself over to Avgil. As the troll takes a moment to look at the wolf, like, oh well, and begins to skin it to prepare it for food as well. That's how that death is going to be treated. But in the meantime, Magellan is going. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember my own name. I've got beaten that badly. Magellan is going to reach over and clasp a hand with Avgil, and he's just going to apologize. I'm sorry. And his friend will nod, and the slowly his grip will release and fade to black. This is not how The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings played out. I guess depending on which character you're talking about. The power of friendship. The power of friendship doesn't stop the power of a big metal spike for barbecue, as it turns out. That's something you never learned from My Little Pony, I guess. Anyway, so the point is, though, let's close all this stuff. Close. In combat, that combat is completely over. And in fact, let's do the little condition, dead. The question was, when I started, by the power of friendship, I have the power. The question was, can you make a character and just start playing a game? Is the only thing stopping you, other than, having rules? Because I didn't really follow the rules. I just kind of went with where I thought was fun and made up the story where I wanted to. Can you just pick up a thing, make a character, and play a game and have a fun evening? Yeah, as it turns out. Might not end out the way you wanted it to. Might not have been a big sweeping adventure. You only got about 4 hexes out from Rivendell before being massacred. But, sweet. And the One Ring. I love this game, the art, the book itself, with the fact that it's a matte finish. And it's just one of the most delightful books that I've got from Freely, even though I love most of their products. The telling table was really cool. If you miss the Sam, there is a thing where you can just roll a d12, and the question is, should oh, is the troll... I think I said, does the troll have a friend or something? Or is the troll on its own? And so when you roll on it... Certain, yeah. So you'd say, yes, the troll is on its own. Unfortunately, I had doubtful, which is why it had a pet wolf. This is cool. Experiment, I think success. I will look to probably run a different telling similar. Yeah, I'll probably try a different system. I've got a whole bunch of other ones that have got solo rules baked in or available. So I've got Pirate Borg springs to mind because that's meant to just be a pick up and play. Character creation takes 1 second and is hilarious. Forbidden Lands, I've just recently got the Book of Beasts, which has got all the solo rules. Walking Dead. Twilight 2000, I actually did a make a character and start playing just randomly kind of game with Getting Dicey over on Getting Dicey or twitch.tv/Getting Dicey. And that was really fun. I think we might actually pick that up again. But yeah, there's definitely oh, and Dragonbane. I'm gonna have to do Dragonbane solo. Just roll up a character and start playing. So yes, this was, I think, a success for me. I had fun. That was a fun way to spend a couple hours. Hopefully you had a bit of entertainment, and you know, I'll probably run another one. Hope to see you again then. In the meantime, thank you for stopping by. And I wish you all a good night. If I can figure out how to close down my stream now.